Hey everybody, it's Alex here, aka YaBonks, and on today's episode of the YaBonks Show, I have a very special guest with me today, my good friend Drew Wolfer, that many of you probably remember from my AMA with Presend about a year to a year and a half ago. Drew is the founder of Presend, a cryptocurrency transaction security software company. Drew, do you want to say hi to the audience and introduce yourself?
100%. Yeah. So first things, before I even introduce myself, I got to tell Alex, thank you for having me on the channel, man. I appreciate you a lot. You've done a lot for me. You've done a lot for a lot of people. And I got to give you your flowers before we go any further. Right. So you're an absolute animal as a human being. I appreciate you. Dude's a legend. And I just want to give him his props on his own channel. Right. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to come in and talk about Precent. So obviously you guys know, my name's on the screen. You've probably seen me somewhere in the YouTube space. My name is Drew Wolfer. I kind of started off in this space as calling out scams on my YouTube channel. If you like stuff like that, go check it out. I've got a lot of funny videos about it. And then people kind of asked me, and I was calling out all the fake nodes, and they were like, yo, since you're so smart and you think everything's a scam, why don't you create like something that's not? And I was like, that's a good idea. And then I did, and it was Wolfer Finance. It was like master and validator noding company that launched, which it went extremely well. And then I got this, like, in my opinion, this is just for me. I'm not saying this is for everybody, right? But in my opinion, as a founder, I got pretty much what I described as a once in a lifetime opportunity, because I don't know a lot of people that have the opportunity to bring out, manage, become the CEO, the managing director of a Silicon Valley style software startup that has 2 pending patents and a revolutionary software that's like taking over, or not taking over, but basically trying to disrupt a multi-trillion-dollar market inside of Web3 and blockchain, right? Cryptocurrency transactions. So I'm extremely humbled and appreciative to be in the position that I'm in. Hopefully it goes well for myself, my wife, my kid, and my family. And yeah, I'm just glad to be able to bring it to you on the YaBonks Show.
Hey. And for those who don't know Drew yet, he's actually one of the few people in the Web3 space I have met in real life. We have made some waves together in Dubai. Maybe you'll hear about that sometime. But man, we've had some great times, making some noise out here in the space, and we've worked on exposing some scams together back in the day when I first started my YouTube channel, and I was watching Drew's channel to learn about crypto scams. Hey, no way. Yeah, so there it is. There's me and Drew in front of the Burj Khalifa, standing on top of, I think it was Sky Hotel's roof. And man, we had some great times out there. And we'll do a live stream sometime together and just talk about all of the wild times we had in Dubai and some of the crazy things we experienced. So
yeah, like when Pelton tried to shoot me with an arrow, but I caught it out of the middle of the air, and I have a video of it. What?
I turned my head and I watched you catch the arrow in midair in the desert. And I'm just like, am I watching The Matrix right now? Some Neo level stuff. So man,
came out and said, ah.
Yeah, man.
So that was fun, man.
It's been really cool watching you grow out here in the space. And I do think Presend is a unique company, and I think it's positioned well in this emerging sector with everything that's happening in the crypto space. I think it is positioned well to get into some really unique opportunities for you and all of the users and investors. So real quick, do you want to give like a high level overview or an elevator pitch of what Presend is for those who don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. So Presend, we're all about innovation. We're all about tech. We're all about like disrupting. And as soon as a market can't be disrupted anymore, we don't even want to be a part of it, right? But we can disrupt this market right now. And we're actually disrupting more than just this market and setting new precedents in a lot of different ways, right? So one of those different ways, and it's probably going to be one of the major key focuses of this video, is obviously the tech. And then the secondary way is we're kind of shaking up the way that you bring token launches to the actual market. And we're bringing ours through a regulation crowdfund But here's the key integrating fact that separates it from everything else. Ours is actually a token launch that you will be able to hold in your cryptocurrency wallet on the Polygon blockchain in your Web3 wallet. So a lot of these companies out here that fund themselves or launch, most of the token sales, they don't do it in a regulated manner like we're doing with our regulation CF. But secondarily, the people that do, they don't issue tokens. We're one of the first companies in the entire world to issue what is called a digital security token. So that is groundbreaking in and of itself. But I'm going to tell you something that's even more groundbreaking. Precent has invented a solution to stop people from losing money on cross-chain transactions. Like, say you're sending USDC from a Polygon wallet to an Ethereum wallet. The USDC, if you look at it, right? They both look the exact same. The problem is, think if Alex had a twin, right? We'd all be in trouble if that was the case, right? But think if Alex had a twin. They would both have a different set of DNA and social security numbers, right? Even though they would look the exact same, they're different. They're not necessarily compatible. They might not even have the same blood type, right? So my point is if you're sending USDC from a Polygon wallet to an Ethereum wallet, they're not compatible with each other. And there's this big misconception in the market that all of these chains are compatible with each other because we're so used to traditional finance, because that's what's been bred and ingrained in us, that if you send a wire to an account that doesn't, exist, it just gets reverted back to your account. That doesn't happen in crypto. You literally lose your money. You can lose your money on EVM chains. You can lose your money on Solana. You can lose your money on Bitcoin chains. It's crazy, man. And we have invented a solution, and we filed 2 pending patents on it in 28 worldly jurisdictions that are actually public record. You can go and check out right now. And we filed those 2 pending patents at the beginning of 2024. And we've got some exciting times because I believe we're going to be able to go out and hopefully license this to some of the largest partners in the world, because anyone and everyone can utilize this tech to protect their cryptocurrency transactions. That means coming in and out of Coinbase. So we're going to try to license it to the Coinbase's, Metamask, ledgers of the world. And let's be real, that's why I think this is so exciting.
All right. So Presend protects people's cryptocurrency transactions and helps them make sure that they're sending it to compatible addresses so it doesn't get lost in the ether and disappear forever. Like we've seen literally people sending like $50 million at once, and they just mess it up and they fat finger it, it just disappears. That's insane to me. But something as simple as Presend could have prevented things like that, right?
Essentially, yeah, it's crazy, man. It happens like millions of dollars every single day. So it's unfortunate, but luckily we've come in and invented a solution and then filed pending patents on it so that we can stop that, hopefully, from ever happening forevermore. And furthermore, we have a patent on our proprietary process, but then we also have a pending patent on what's called test transactions. We filed that in June of 2022. This is before anybody was doing anything with like security, transaction security, right? So what is a test transaction? I want to hit on that really quick. So if you go into, say, Ledger, you can do what's called a simulation transaction. Same thing with Gnosis wallet. What's a simulation transaction? It's literally that wallet just sending a test transaction on the testnet of a blockchain to the recipient wallet that you're indicating to send it to. And if it shows up, great, right? That's a simulation transaction. Here's the kicker. No one was using simulation transactions back in June of 2022. So if you kind of see where I'm going with that, if we have the pending patent on it, and it was also accepted into the PPH program, which is the patent protection highway that gives you accelerated patent prosecution, and it comes with a known statistic from 2022 and 2023 of an 88.3% approval rating on patents that are issued or that are accepted into this PPH program. We were accepted into that for our test transaction patent. So if you kind of see, the potential of something like that, Uniswap does test transactions. So does Gnosis wallet or Gnosis safes. So does all of the ledgers and a lot of the Coinbases of the world. So we have, in a way, we own that tech. Could be nice.
Absolutely. That's really awesome that you got into the PPH program with one of your patents. So you said there's like an 88% approximately of an approval rate once a patent's into that process. So that's super exciting stuff. Also, it is mind-blowing that there weren't these simulation transactions built into things that we use every day, like Metamask or Trust Wallet or Coinbase, all these different platforms that we use every single day, it would be, in my head, not too huge of an effort for them to put in something like that to potentially save their users millions and millions of dollars. I literally read news articles from like CoinDesk about companies that fat fingered $1 million transaction and it's gone. And like that's a quick way to lose your job somewhere. Am I right?
Yeah.
That could put a company
and here's
under,
the craziest part. Yeah, the craziest part is that simulation transactions, they do help, okay, but they don't work, right?
Yeah.
So I've actually done videos, and people can go and check this out on my channel and on the Precent website and stuff, where I've literally shown people the platforms that use these simulation transactions or doing wallet checks like MetaMask does, right? I've actually shown me using their technology and still somehow losing my money. And then what I do is I use Presend's technology and I do the same exact transaction in the same exact way, and it shows Presend stopping it before you can lose your money. When I say this is revolutionary, when I say this is groundbreaking, here's the only issue with Presend. We might be a little bit too early, right? Because this is like an institutional grade type of, I guess, infrastructure, enterprise grade solution, right? People that are sending $10, they might not care as much about it, but you bet that Coinbase, that has billions of dollars moving in and out of it every single day, is going to care about that. Not for the fact that they care if you lose your money, but here's the thing. Self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're a user on Coinbase and somehow you lose your money coming out of Coinbase or into Coinbase, even though that's not their fault, if there's a solution out here that they can use and license from us for a fee, obviously, and they're not using it, then that would make 0 sense for them. And it doesn't matter whether it was the user's problem or Coinbase's problem. Every time that user goes to Coinbase, they're going to have that little asterisk by them. They're going to say, I remember when I lost like $1,000 coming out of Coinbase or going into Coinbase. And they might say, well, maybe next time I'll go to Kraken, right? So this is a strategic marketing advantage for these exchanges and these wallets to go out and say like, hey, we're protecting our users. So that's kind of the way that we're going to go to these institutions and say, hey, implement our technology into your technology. And obviously we're going to charge them, a very decent licensing fee in order to do that. But there's hundreds, if not thousands of clients out there for us, and they're not going to bat an eye at spending X amount of dollars. Whereas maybe a retail participant is like, you know what? I don't want to spend $1 protecting my transaction. These exchanges and these wallets, they're not going to bat an eye at something like that.
For somebody like me, I do a lot of playing around in crypto and DeFi. I do a lot of business out here. And if I'm sending $1,000 or $5,000 to a different wallet or to somebody else or to wherever, I get nervous, right? Like I would spend $1 for sure to protect that and ensure that it's going to a legitimate wallet and that I didn't like make a human error and I didn't fat finger something.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, I want to ask before we really jump into all this, do you have any important dates or announcements that you want to talk about before we?
Absolutely, man. So by the time you see this, the end user, the viewer, the people that we appreciate because they love and support us and they let us be able to come into their homes and do these things. And this is our lives, right? We appreciate you, first off. But by the time you see this, our CF crowdfunding sale, our token sale, will have already launched. It launches on Friday, the 24th of May at 12:01 PST. So by the time you see this, you will be able to participate. I say that with a caveat. Please, everything that I'm saying, verify it. Do not just trust me because I'm a guy on a screen and I'm on, Alex's channel and you trust Alex. Verify everything that I say. Go check out my link tree. Go check out the Presend website. Go check out the offering page and make sure that everything that I'm saying is correct and accurate. And then you can go and make an informed decision and an intelligent decision for yourself. But I just have to caveat it with that.
Awesome. I appreciate the disclaimer. I always tell my audience, do your own research before you do anything out here. It's so important. Like Drew said, We are just guys on YouTube, right? Like, obviously, Drew is the founder of Presend and everything, but really, even for a Reg CF offering that is, approved through the SEC and is going through a FINRA approved platform for crowdfunding, you still really need to do your own research on any investment decision. It's the responsible and accountable thing to do for yourself and your loved ones in your life. So now, with that being said, what's in it for us, Drew? So we talked about the end user a little bit, but for like a retail level participant or user, and also for like a retail level investor like myself, what's the value proposition for the user and or an investor here?
100%. Yeah. So this is where it gets juicy, man. This is what I love talking about, because I get to incorporate myself in this, which from a vanity perspective, I love, but it's a really good example, right? So now, if the thing that the question I always pose to people is, when is the last time that you have ever, if ever, that you have been able to invest in a Silicon Valley style software startup that has, even at all, right? And when is the last time you got to invest in one that has 2 pending patents in 28 worldly jurisdictions, one that got accepted into the PPH Accelerator program, and already has the tech developed that's available on Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, and Brave browser inside of their stores, and also has a web app that you can utilize anytime that you want, right? Most people are going to say never, okay?
Yeah.
Now, there's a reason for that, okay? And it's because the non-accredited investors and retail investors of the world usually historically don't get access to stuff like this, because these types of companies usually need 10, 15, 20, $100 million to start up. Because of the way that I set it up, we didn't need $20 million to start it up. So I can bring it out to retail investors. And that's something that's near and dear to me. Why? Because I came from literally nothing. I was not a silver spoon fed person. I came from the mud, and, I worked my way out of it and got to where I am today. Right. And so I've personally never had that opportunity. And I'm extremely humbled and appreciative to be in the position that I am in, being the face and the person that runs the company, built the company, basically invented the tech. Obviously, we had inventors on our patents and stuff like that, right? But brought this company to market and founded the company. I am very humbled and appreciative to be in that situation. And I just want to be able to give that type of an opportunity out to other people that may have a same or similar story as I did, and might not have the ability, might not have a YouTube channel where some guy calls them and is like, hey, I have a really good idea. I think you could do this. And then we run with it, right? And develop it and invent it and patent it, and, at least try to patent it so far, right? So that's kind of what's in it for them. And as far as what is like technically like in it for them, I cannot tell you because of the way that Reg C rules are. And there's a reason why I can't tell you the terms of the offering. And it's because they want you to go and do your own research. But what I can tell you is where to find that information. That information is on the offering page, which is live right now. It's at akemona.com/offerings/Precent, and it will be in the description box of this video. And if you look at the top graphic, although I can't explain it, you will be able to understand what is going on and what is in it for you. And then there's 2 graphics a little bit further down the page, which we don't have to go and show because they can go and look at it for themselves if they want to. But that will also explain to you what exactly is in it for you. And essentially, I can tell you, this is how Presend makes money, right? And you can kind of go and infer this from yourself. Presend makes money by taking this tech and either, one, licensing it out to large institutions for fees, right? There's integration fees and then obviously maintenance fees for us to go out. Say we decide, okay, this is $20,000 per, and this is totally hypothetical. I'm not saying this is what it is, right? We do not have our first institutional partner yet, and that is because I'm going to Consensus in about 4 days to go and court our first institutional partners, because we wanted to wait until after we had filed our pending patents. That way we're not on the map and giving people time to get ahead of us and stuff like that. But now that the patents are filed and the institutional grade infrastructure where we can bring them in and plug our tech in through what's called a software development kit or SDK and private APIs for them, now that we have that pretty much developed and almost done, and it'll be done by most likely by the time I go to Consensus in a week, that's when we can start onboarding institutional grade partners if they decide that they want to integrate our tech. So that's one way that we make money, right? We're getting to that. The second way that we make money is that if people go and use our web app or any of those extensions that I just previously mentioned, we charge a very minimal fee. And what I mean by minimal is I'm talking 0.2%. So 0.002, right? Not 0.02. 0.002, 0.2%. What does that mean? That means if you're sending $500, we only charge $1 to protect that. If you're sending $1,000, we only charge $2 to potentially protect that transaction. So that's essentially how Presend makes money. And if you want to know how that plays for you and how you get involved with the crowdfund and how that works out in your favor, then please go to the offering page and check out the terms of the offering. And we'll be happy to have you in the Presend family.
Good to know. And Drew can't speak about any of this stuff because he's got the SEC and the FTC guidelines to follow with the RegC offering thing. But for those listening to the podcast version of this, there is a profit share and a vested interest, basically. So if you invest in this, you will, in some way or another, go read the RegC. I'm not going to go into all the details. There's a lot of information here, but essentially there's some profit sharing, and you own a vested interest in Presend, and all of it's laid out in nitty gritty detail here. So if you are a researcher like me and you love having as much information as possible before you make your decisions, go read this, read it thoroughly. I even went and I looked at the RegCF form that he filed with the SEC. That's all part of this. This is all, there are very strict rules about how to do this stuff. And I looked into that. That stuff has been filed and accepted by the SEC. So this is going to be going live on May 24th on Friday. Go read this. It's actually very educational, just in general. So if you want to learn more about business and finance and tech startups and the SEC and investing and all this stuff, go read something like this. It's really good for you. And at the same time, check it out, see if it's right for you, and make your own decisions based on whatever makes sense for you. And as Drew was saying, not all of us are accredited investors. I get approached by these companies and they're like, hey, I know, you interview all these tech companies. Do you want to invest in our company? And I'm like, yeah, let me see your information. They send it to me. And then it's like, you must be an accredited investor with a minimum of a $50,000 investment. And I'm just like, nope, next. Sorry, I'm not doing that. I don't have that kind of money. I'm a pretty normal dude. I run an animal sanctuary. I run a nonprofit organization, right? So something that like a crowdfunding CF is cool because the minimum to invest in something like this, and I don't know what it is for this, but it's normally something like $100, like something that most people can reach. And
yeah, you're absolutely correct, man. Reg CFs are set up for the unaccredited or the retail investor. You're absolutely correct on your assessment earlier, where you basically said, hey, they have a vested interest in the company. Absolutely. And that's something that I can touch on. So what you will get is called a digital security token. Okay. And that digital security token is housed in your Web3 wallet, as long as it is, Polygon compatible, right? We're issuing it on the Polygon blockchain. Why? Because we don't want people to be paying exorbitant fees on their shares to mint on ETH or something like that, right? And I love Polygon. I'm very bullish on Polygon long term. Not investment or financial advice on Polygon. But my point is that you will be able to go into this offering page, do all of your research. It'll tell you everything that you need to know about Precent. This offering page that he's showing you right now is the actual investment contract between you and our company if you are actually going to invest. Okay, so this is the end all be all to this, and same thing with the Form C. That is submitted directly to the SEC, and that is that, right? So this is all regulatory filings and the investment contract that he's showing you. So with that said, if you get that digital security token, that is your vested interest in our company. And what that vested interest means is it's basically the Web3 version or the new version of traditional stock. But instead of having some boring stock certificate that is like hard to move around, that you got to print it off and stuff like that, we actually have it on the blockchain because we're a blockchain company, and you can move it around to your Web3 wallets if you need to. All you have to do is just make sure that those wallets belong to you and whitelist and prove that those those wallets belong to you. Bing, bang, boom. You can put those anywhere you want. And the coolest thing, well, not the coolest thing, but one of the cool things about the digital security token is as long as you own at least one full digital security token, you will actually have fee-free use of the Presend software. So you can go out and potentially protect your portfolio for free just from being an investor in our company as well. So not only do you have a vested interest in our company, right, from a stockholder, shareholder's perspective, but you also have the ability to protect your transactions in that wallet that houses that digital security token for whenever.
Wow, that's actually super interesting that one of the bonuses, because a lot of times these crowdfunding RegCF crowdfunding campaigns, they often have like bonuses. Like if you invest a certain amount, you get this bonus. If you invest a certain amount,
yeah, like we'll give you a T-shirt.
We'll give you a T-shirt, or we'll give you our board game that we're gonna make, which is actually a cool one that a previous company I had on here said. But still, it's stuff like that usually. Like, but what makes this very interesting is because of the integration of a digital security token with the blockchain and blockchain technology, you are able to offer some of those bonuses in blockchain compatible crypto technology format, like using Presend. If you have this digital security token in the wallet that you're using to send transactions and you're verifying it and securing it through Presend, then you get those transactions fee-free. Am I understanding that correctly?
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. Actually, if you before we get off of this page, if you can control F fee free, just type in fee free. Bam, right there. Additionally, all token holders will receive fee-free use of the Presend software via the issuer's extensions and web app. So bing, bang, boom. Like I said, this is the terms of this is the investment contract. So this is like what comes with your digital security token, okay? This isn't like a term of the offering, but this is just a special bonus that you will, be able to do and have if you own that digital security token, okay? And then secondarily, I kind of wanted to point people to this as well. I know you've probably got it up and already ready, Alex, but the investor overview, we have a document that if you go to the Presend website and you scroll all the way down to the bottom footer and you click documentation, it'll take you to this investor overview. And this gives you a really good understanding of what Presend is, what it does, why it matters. You can go in here, you can see our team, you can see all of the pending patents that we have, the filings, like the numbers on them. We have 2 pending patents. One of them's pending in 28 jurisdictions, every single European Union country, plus the United States, which is for our proprietary blockchain process. And then we have one that's pending in all of those same countries, plus Hong Kong, and that is for our test transaction security process. It kind of gives you the blockchain market breakdown and some potential, mathematical scenarios of, hey, if Presend protects these types, this many transactions, this is what we could generate in revenue. Tells you what we're compatible with, tells you where we're trying to go, who we're trying to target, the new blockchains we want to bring out. And it tells you who's already using the tech that we have pending patents on. But the good news is that we filed our pending patents before our provisional patents, before those guys were ever using that tech, and they haven't filed any patents on it. Why? Because they can't, because we already have the provisional and the pending patent on it. So yeah, go read about it. Like, just check it out. Presend, I think it's really cool, man. It's a unique opportunity, and it might not be for everyone. And I'm not trying to push anybody to get involved in anything. What I'm saying is that even if you're not an investor in Presend, you can still use Presend to go and protect your transactions. So I would suggest people go and look into it, go test it, go verify everything I'm saying. You don't even have to test it with real money. Guess what you can do? You can go on testnet and try a test transaction. Try to go send BNB to Coinbase. I bet you Presend stops it, and do it on testnet, and just to make sure, right? And then bing, bang, boom, you'll have tested it, and now you will know, okay, Presend works. But verify that for yourself. Don't just take my word for it.
And it's really easy to get Presend. Like, I have it right here. You see this little this little icon on Brave browser right here. I downloaded it.
Yeah, it's like 3 clicks of a button, man.
Yeah, I just connected it to my wallet. It's super simple. And if you go to presend.io, you could literally just click browser extension right here. Blam. It's that easy to download it and use it. Yeah.
There's a how-to video right next to it, how to use it. There's a web app. You click on the web app, takes you directly to the web app. You've got your Chrome extension, your Brave extension, and your Edge extension right below it. Bing, bang, boom. You connect your wallet. You're good to go. You start, transacting. I want to hit on this really quick too, Alex, before we close anything out. We're non-custodial. Okay. So what does non-custodial mean? It means we don't take access of your funds. We are not a wallet. We connect and are simpatico, and we connect to your wallet. All we can do is read your wallet and prompt your wallet to do things, but you have to approve everything inside of your wallet. Okay. You cannot we cannot send transactions for you. You actually have to click approve and do it all yourself. So we do not want to, take custody of anybody's funds. We do not want to be a wallet. We don't want to compete with our potential customers, right? Coinbase, Metamask, Binance. But you can see how easy Presend is. It's just like a Metamask transaction. You click Presend, you say, I want to send BNB. You type in the amount of BNB that you want. And then the only difference is you've got 2 extra clicks. You tell it, are you sending it to a centralized exchange? Yes. Okay, cool. You're sending it to what? Coinbase. You can click the drop down. If you just click yes really quick, you'll see what I'm talking about. Bam. Now click your boom, and then just click one of those. Say you're sending a Coinbase, and then put your wallet address in, boom, and you hit send. Now, what happens if you click no, right? If you click no, it asks you what type of wallet you're sending it to. You're sending it to Ledger, Brave, Opera, Crypto.com, things like that. Bam, and then you just type in the wallet address, boom, and you send it. It's literally that simple. It's like 2 to 3 clicks of a button. It is not intrusive. So it's not going to make you change your habits. The process is the exact same, except for all you have to do is click either yes or no, and then click what wallet or centralized exchange you're sending it to, and that's it. And I get it. We're only compatible with 5 blockchains right now: Polygon, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, FTM, and Avalanche, right? There's a bunch more EVM chains, and it's not going to be hard for us to get compatible with them, right? We're also only compatible with, I believe, 7 centralized exchanges right now: Crypto.com, Binance.com, Binance US, KuCoin, Coinbase, and Kraken. So I believe those are all of our centralized exchanges. Then we're compatible, and that's sending into them. And then we're compatible sending into Opera Wallet, Brave Wallet, Trust Wallet, Ledger, I believe Crypto.com, DeFi Wallet, Coinbase Wallet, and MetaMask. Okay. Why? Because all of those are the places that people are normally moving their money to the most, right? Obviously, we're going to add more centralized exchange compatibilities. We're going to add more wallet compatibilities. We're going to add more blockchain compatibilities. We're going to add Bitcoin blockchain, Solana blockchain, more EVM, Optimism, Arbitrum, all of those, Crypto.com's Crow chain, all of that stuff. But we had to go with the ones that mattered the most first. And in my opinion, these are some of the ones that are utilized the most in terms of centralized exchanges, wallets, and blockchains. So yeah, that's where we're going in our future. We're going to continue to develop the product because, let's be real, there's new centralized exchanges, wallets, and blockchains coming out every single day. So we can scale this to an astronomical level. And those blockchains, wallets, and exchanges that we're going to be adding as compatibilities, guess what they also are? Our potential future partners. So it's dually scalable for Presend. So hopefully that kind of gives everybody a really good indication of Presend, what it does, and why it matters in this market. Because let's be real, is BlackRock going to want to come in and try to move $1 billion worth of USDC on the Polygon blockchain and risk losing it? I doubt they will. So let's help facilitate that transaction. And then we can make money off of it. That's the cool thing.
Yeah. And I also want to add here, this is a question I've been asked about Presend from some of my community members. Well, I just copy and paste my address, so why does it matter? And I just want to say, as a software engineer, I'm a software engineer, there are viruses out there, and there are Trojan viruses. There are also other types of malicious software that can get onto your computer in various ways. And one of the crypto hacks that I have read about and seen is when you copy a cryptocurrency address, when you go and paste it, the malicious software will change it to their address. So you copy your address or your friend's address, and you're like, okay, I'm going to send them $1,000 of BNB. You copy it and then you paste it. You don't think twice because you just copy and paste it. You think it's going to be the exact same. So you don't even double check it to make sure that that's the right address still. And the software will basically intercept that copy paste and it'll paste a different address. Now, something like Presend could actually potentially prevent that depending on the situation. So that's just something I was thinking about. I've heard people.
So to add on to that, Alex, something that we have that we want to do in our future just to make this more robust, obviously like Presend's revolutionary in and of itself, because if you try to send BNB to Coinbase right now, or say you try to send, here's a scenario. This is why to address the people that are like, hey, why does this matter? Okay, so USDC, right? And we can pop all this down so that everybody can see your beautiful face if you want to. We don't need to show them the extension anymore if you don't want to. Sure. But essentially, there's USDC, right? And it kind of goes to my previous example. USDC is literally on Solana. It is on Polygon, Ethereum, Avalanche, FTM. Okay, this is a real example. Okay, this is a live real example. USDC is accepted into Coinbase on Polygon, Ethereum, and Solana. It is not accepted into Coinbase on AVAX or FTM. So when you go into Coinbase and you say, hey, I want to send in USDC, and then you copy that address, and then you go into your wallet and you try to send USDC from an Avalanche wallet to that Coinbase wallet, it will not show up. That's why this matters, okay? But contrarily, right? How do you know? A lot of people just like save their addresses and they just copy and paste, right? Say you're sending into Binance and Binance decided, hey, there's a lawsuit going on with, I don't know, XYZ coin that has normally been listed on there. But you don't know that they unlisted that coin, okay? Because they're not going to tell you. They're just going to unlist it, right? And maybe they'll send out a newsletter like once a month or once a quarter and say, hey, we unlisted these coins. Or there'll be some stupid pop-up that you just click through and don't even know about.
I don't read them.
Yeah, no one does, bro. Yes. So then you go to send XYZ coin to your known Binance address that you just copy and paste, and then you send it and you lose all that coin because guess what? Binance doesn't support it anymore. Yeah, that's why Presend matters, my friend. Now, secondarily, I want to touch on that other development that I was talking about, and then we can feel free to do whatever after that.
Sure.
There's what we could do is a kind of like a check. Okay, so say that I, Drew Wolfer, want to send Alex $10,000 because I like his hat. I'm like, dude, your hat is so cool today. I'm gonna send you 10 grand. Okay, and he's like, cool. Here's my wallet address. Now, to stop a software like that from intercepting you and basically like switching the wallet address, say his stuff is hacked or my stuff is hacked, right?
Yeah.
I can actually, what we're trying to develop right now is we go into Presend and the end user would go into Presend and say, I'm sending $1,000 to Alex's Metamask wallet. It is this address. Then it will generate a private key, like say, call it 1234. I send that from, text message, whatever, to Alex. And I say, hey, 1234, that's the key. He logs in and connects his wallet on Presend on the web app or whatever. And then he just inserts that 1234. And then it sends back a transaction record to me that says, hey, he already verified his wallet. You can send that. And then click, all I do is approve and it sends. And now you know for a fact that you just sent it to Alex. Okay. Yeah. So that's my point is like Drew Wolfer wants to pay YaBonks 10 grand. Well, I want to make sure that I'm actually paying my
boy. I will
boy,
send you
and not
this
paying somebody else.
I will give you this hat for 10 grand, man. It's invaluable. It'll be worth a lot on eBay someday. Yeah. Trust me, bro.
Yeah. So that kind of addresses those, like, why does this matter? And maybe it doesn't matter for them. That's fine. Not everybody is going to use this software. But one thing I can assure you is that the institutions aren't going to bat an eye when I come to them and say, hey, we can protect your 30 million users who transact millions of dollars every day. And whether it's your fault or not, it doesn't matter. They still think, oh, I lost my money with Metamask. Even though it's not their fault. So if I could offer them a solution for, 20, 50 grand a month, when they make that in, an hour on swapping and transaction fees, don't you think they would probably be like, yeah, let's implement it? Most likely. I don't know. I would if I was them, but I can't obviously speak for them. But what I'm saying is this is a type of solution that makes sense for them and gets the blockchain markets up to par with the traditional financial, or at least a step in the right direction.
It does make a lot of sense because I have people in my community that have sent money from their wallet to a Coinbase wallet, and what you explained earlier happened to them. They apparently the exchange didn't support whatever coin on whatever chain, although it they didn't know this though. They sent it disappeared, and they wrote to Coinbase or whichever exchange, I can't remember which one it was, and they went through a whole process, and they basically were told, sorry, it's gone. And there's nothing you can do in those situations. And then that exchange looks bad because that person's going to go talk about it and say, hey, this exchange stole my money, essentially. But that's not, I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's what that user feels like happened to them, because they were under the assumption
exactly what they think.
They would feel like that they got screwed over, and they're mad. They lost a ton of money. So they're going to tell everybody, stay away from this company. If that company had something like this to protect or prevent those situations from happening, it might be a better user experience for their thousands and thousands of users.
Yep. And I wanted to offer this, I guess, potential opportunity, the CF, the crowdfunding token sale, out to people before we started going out and courting these. And don't get me wrong, I'm barely offering it early enough to do that, because we're going to consensus next week, and I'm going to be the belle of the ball, right? I'm going around, I'm shaking hands, I'm kissing babies. If anybody knows anything about me, they know I'm showing up in a 3-piece suit. They know we're showing up dressed to impress, ready to go with the pitches. We're going to demo the software right in front of them. We're going to lose money right in front of them and show how Presend stops that from happening. Okay. And then we're going to go out and try and court these institutional partners. And so essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm giving people the chance to get in. And one thing I can say is that it doesn't matter whether we get the partners or not, like comparatively to the funding, right? Either way, we have expenses that are going to come through. It costs multi-million dollars to develop and invent a software like this. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to get patents issued, if you're lucky enough to get your patents issued in 28 jurisdictions worldly. It's very expensive. So in order for us to move forward, right, we're going to have income either way. So that's one thing. That is our main focus, is go out and get these partners and start generating income, because now we have built the software. Now we have built the infrastructure. Now we have the pending patents. Now we've brought a regulated, one of the first ever, right, token sales in the United States that is Web3 based, and we're here and we're ready to go. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and I'm going to hunt, and I'm going to find us partners. And that's my entire goal.
I remember when I was recording you giving your keynote speech at the World Blockchain Expo in Dubai. Afterwards, I was trying to talk to you, and there was just a line of investors and sheiks and stuff coming to talk to you about how to invest in a large scale in Precent. And I was just all right, Drew, I want to go. You have fun with all that. I want to go walk around.
Yeah. And the craziest part is that those guys were VCs. And I was like, hey, man, we're not offering this out to VCs. I'm offering this out to people that don't normally get this opportunity. And there's a reason for that, right? And it's because I think that people deserve it. First off, I think they deserve that chance. Second off, I don't think that we need $50 million from these guys in order to be able to do it. And then third off, when somebody comes in with multiple $1 million like that, if you know anything about how the world actually works from a high and fundamental level, those people feel like they own you. Yeah. And one thing I can say is somebody that comes in for, $500, $1,000 on a crowd fund, they don't feel like they own you or own the business or run your life or your schedule. And they're just happy to be there. And they're grateful for the opportunity. So whereas these, a lot of times, and I'm not saying this is all VCs, but VCs almost expect it. And they're just yeah, I'm, it's expected. They're entitled to it because they're a VC. And I'm No, I'd rather have people that are grateful for the opportunity rather than somebody that just expects it to happen because they're who, they have a certain name or status, So yeah, that's why we're offering it out to the people that we're offering it out to.
Very cool. Now, in the long term, if there was a large offer from a VC company or just a large buyer who would want to acquire Presend and do a buyout, would you consider that as an exit strategy for you and all the investors?
100%. Yeah, but they're going to have to come with something serious. It's going to have to be very advantageous because Presend's a long-term solution. If we get partners, like we could be generating revenue every single year, right? And that's good for us. And then obviously it's good for the people that are involved in our business from a fundamental level, investor level, digital security token holders and stuff like that. So they would have to make a very decent offer to us, but I would consider it. I don't even take a salary from Presend at this point, right? So I'm very investor centric. I'm very focused on making sure that I'm delivering value to people that believe in me, that trust me, that support me and love me. So rather than say, somebody comes in with a $20 million offer and people barely get, their money back, or they make, 10%, 20%. No. We're not going to accept something like that. We could make, I would then in turn say, okay, no, I'll go out and try and make us $20 million, right, over the course of a couple of years rather than accept it from somebody to just walk, right? So absolutely, but it'll have to be a substantial offer. And I don't want to this is not a guarantee, and this is not, don't quote me on this, but it would have to be 50 million or more, at least in my opinion, to make it worth it for people. But if you do have 2 patents and you have revenue generating partnerships, those types of valuations for tech companies, and they're not obscenely out of this world, right? So,
yeah, especially a lot of these multi-billion-dollar crypto companies that would potentially be looking to license this software. Some of them might just consider purchasing the company and then licensing it out to everybody else themselves. At which point, you gotta weigh, hey, does that make sense? Would we make more just licensing this for X amount of years, or would it make more sense just to take the sum of money and just split it up between everybody and say, hey, job well done, let's go build another company?
Yeah. And I wanted to be a little bit clear on that too. So I'm not here for the short term, right? I've been building this company for almost 2 years now. We are very patient, and there's a reason for that, right? And I've been building my other company, Wolfer Finance, for 2 years now, right? I am not and there's why am I bringing a regulation crowd fund in crypto if I'm not here for the long haul, right? My goal is to create a brand, to create a legacy. That's why my other company is called Wolfer Finance. It is literally going to be my legacy, obviously besides my family, my children, stuff like that. So I am here, and Presend, just so that everybody knows, this is a disclaimer, Presend is a subsidiary company of Wolfer Finance. So Wolfer Finance does own and operate Presend, okay? I'm the CEO of both companies. I'm the president and the managing director on the board of both companies, and Wolfer Finance is the Class A shareholder, which is the highest shareholder and highest board member designee in Presend. So although Wolfer is named Wolfer, Presend is my legacy as well. So I want people to understand that they are 2 separate companies, but they are one and the same as it pertains to me, because they are both a part of my legacy, and I want to continue building that legacy. And, my end goal, if it gets to that, I would love to be able to pass this down to my kid, here in 7-10 years. But, we'll see where we get, because if we get, advantageous offers there, when you get advantageous offers, you have to consider them, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one other thing I want to ask, who else is on the team? At the executive level, who else is working with this, with you on Presend?
Yeah. So I've got my guy, Craig Emsley. Dude's an absolute animal. He was born to win. He was an Olympian swimmer from South Africa. He went to North Carolina. He runs a multi-million-dollar company outside of this as well. That's basically, he did a little bit of e-commerce. He's a ClickFunnels. He's one. I think he's like one of only 14 people in the world that owns that got. I think it's 10-figure or 9-figure or 8-figure. Sorry, two commas. Right, 2 commas, 10 million plus ClickFunnels plaque. So dude's an absolute animal. He's a legend. He's my CMO. Then I have my president of marketing, Greg, who runs RegC Global Growth. He's based out of Tampa, Florida. Craig is based out of Miami. We're all Florida boys, baby. Like Florida boys unite. YaBonks is a Florida boy. You guys know what time it is. We're not going anywhere. We're not hiding. We're here, and we're all very easy to find. You can go and Google me. You can go and Google Craig. You can go and Google Greg. His name's Greg RegC. Then my media manager is Sky Rudis, and he works at Pennyfly. He's one of the owners over at Pennyfly Entertainment. And he's an owner in the company, obviously on the board of directors as well. Then I've got my co-founder, Larry, right? And I call him my Lair Bear. His name is Lawrence Holiski, and he is the co-founder of this as well. And he is the guy that filed the provisional patent back in June of 2022, and then called me up and was like, hey, I filed a provisional patent. I think this is a really good idea. Would you build this company and like do this for me? And I was like, do you have the provisional already? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, we can talk. Let's go do it. And then we did it. And now we're here. And I'm just like so happy and appreciative and humbled, man. Like seriously, we have a great team. We obviously have a dev team that we have like 6 to 12 different devs working on this all at the same time. It's from a company out of Canada. We also have a massive media team of about 6 different individuals as well that most of them we sourced through Pennyfly, which is Sky's company or partly Sky's company. And our team is robust.
Good to know. And I got the honor of meeting Larry in person in Dubai as well.
Yeah.
Super smart guy. We had some great talks about software engineering and also about our hometowns in Ohio that are very close to each other. So small world when it boils down to it. I think that's basically all the questions I have here. I want to wrap this up in under an hour. I think we're doing a pretty good job at that. I think the main thing for people, like Presend's pretty easy to understand once you get it. It protects your transactions in a couple different ways, patent pending and everything like that. You can go use it today. It is functional. You can go get the browser extension and send transactions using Presend. And there is the RegCF crowdfunding offering right now on Akemona. At Akemona, Akemona.com. I'll have the links in the description of this video for the crowdfunding offering, the Presend website, Presend.io, all your socials and everything. I'll also make a channel in the YaBonks Discord server, discord.gg/YaBonks, YaBonks. Go to the projects category and look for the Presend channel. I'll put all the links in there too. And you guys, it's a free discussion, open forum. If you have questions, ping me in there and talk about it. But everything, I mean, there's so much information here for you guys. So check out their documentation and go check out the offering on Akemona. It's jam-packed full of information, everything you could ever want to know about what's being offered here.
Yep, absolutely. You got it, man. I couldn't have summed it up any better than you just did. The only other thing I can add is that technically, and this is something we covered on the last stream that I just kind of wanted to iterate to people, technically by owning digital security tokens in Wolfer Finance, you also have exposure to Presend since Wolfer Finance owns Presend. So just throwing that tidbit out there for anybody that happens to give a F. And you can do with that information what you will. Wolfer Finance also has a crowdfunding CF token sale that opens at the exact same time. And it is the same link, except for it's just /Wolfer instead of /Presend. So yeah, feel free to go and check that out. But again, obviously, do your own research. Do research on all this. Look at the offering pages. Make sure you're doing your due diligence. Make sure that you're verifying everything that I say is true. Go check me out on my socials, YouTube, Twitter. I'm Drew Wolfer everywhere. Go check out, get in the Discords. Go to my link tree. Go see everything that I've done. I've been on Entrepreneur Podcast. I've been a keynote speaker in World Blockchain Summit Dubai. I was in the pitch competitions at Consensus back in 2023. I'm going to Consensus now. I've been in International Business Times, Men's Journal, Maxim. Go check me out. Make sure that everything I'm saying is actually valid and true. And we'll be happy to have you either in the Wolf Pack or the Precent family or both.
Very cool. So yeah, go check out Drew. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. It's super entertaining. He busts out like weapons and battle axes and swords. I knew it. I knew he had one right there. So he's got his Viking weaponry to take on the opponents in the crypto realm and the scammers. So I love it, man.
We love the props, man. The props make it fun. I love YouTube. I think it's really fun. I love taking down the scammers. Because we do what we do with integrity, and we try to do it as best as we can and deliver value to people in multiple different ways, not only from a investment perspective and building in the space, making the space better, but also from an entertainment and informational perspective. I like to help people. I like to help people figure out how to, spot scams. And, if I can stop you from investing in a scam, Lord knows I will. Just, check out my YouTube channel and pay attention for the Burrow Core and the Hydra Whales Mining Club videos that are coming out soon, because those are absolute bangers, dude. You'll see the sword and the shield in those videos, man. It's really entertaining and fun stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I love you too, bro. And I can't wait to see those videos. They're always entertaining. I love your videos. I get a kick out of it the whole time. I'm saying they're like, oh, he didn't just say that. Oh my God. You got to have some flair out here in the YouTube world. You got to get attention somehow. And it really helps to make the information more digestible, especially when there's money involved and people are like, what's going on? I'm glad that you're a YouTuber, because you can make all the information about Presend and Wolfer Finance very available for people. You can keep everybody updated with your face and your real name, unlike a lot of these scammers out here in Telegram and Discord with fake names and profile pictures. You're actually the guy behind this, and you are on camera in front of everybody with your face and name, and that's something I appreciate.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm a real person at the end of the day. It's still weird to be able to say this. I'm still not quite used to it yet, but you can Google me, which is like a weird thing to be able to say. Like, Google me and you'll see everything that I've done. And I don't say that to like boast or brag. I say that just because it's a fact. You can Google me and you'll see a lot of stuff. And it's a really good way to figure out who I am. And, going to my YouTube channel will let you know whether or not I'm really the guy that I say that I am. And just another one little quick thing before we go, just to kind of expound upon that. We actually did a Wolfer Finance and Presend investor and community meetup in Miami back last year in 2023. And anybody that wanted to come could come, and I met them and we all went, and they met my wife, my kid. Like, Larry was there with his wife. Craig was there with his wife. There was like a dozen people there that showed up, and we just kicked it with our community and our people. And I mean, I don't know anybody that does that, man. So at the end of the day, cool. I think the reputation kind of is what facilitates that, because I think people understand that I am a real person and I try to do everything that I can to represent everybody in the best way. So that's what I will continue to do into the future. And hopefully we have decades more of this.
Very cool, man. That's awesome. Not many people do that. And I appreciate the transparency. So I think that's a good note to wrap this up on. Anything else do you want to say, Drew?
No, man, just, go do your research, show up to the crowdfunding sales. And I would say go to the offering page and check out some of the graphics at the top, because it's going to have very pertinent information that you might want to see.
All right. Sounds good. I'll put the links to everything in the video. Make sure to smash that notification bell, hit the like button, and uppercut the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching. Adios.